He is a Chicago native with a career that spans over 17 years. He is a local member of the 476 Union as a master barber. Please welcome John JayBee Bivins. Thank you so much, John, for joining us today. Should I call you John or JayBee?
Most times I answer to both, so wherever you comfortable at.
Okay.
But most people, even people at work, sometimes they say JB or sometimes they say John. Usually the older ladies in the, that we work with, they be like
Yeah.
John. They use the John a lot, but
Yeah.
I answer to them both. So
Okay. Well, it's a
JB is
pleasure.
nothing but my initials spelled out.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
It's such a pleasure to
but
have you here on the show and all the way from Chicago. Thank you so much for joining me.
man, thanks for having me. I'm excited about the opportunity.
Yes, you have such a long, extensive career. I was looking at your, your bio and everything, and you have been on so many different shows. You were the official barber of the NFL Chicago Bears. Just a wonderful journey that you have had in this industry. Tell me a little bit about it and how you got started, and just a little bit about some of the stories that you have.
Well, I knew we had only in Chicago. I got in the barber business like late, like at age 32. And I was in retail, restaurant management, things like that. But as I turned the corner going into my 30s, I was like, there's a deeper call. And I was managing these high level, like Foot Locker, KFC. I was deep into management, salary management, full service management, stuff like that. And I was like, I gotta change. I gotta change my life. I was selling Jordans out the back door. I was doing all type of things that go on. Like when that people talk about they got the hookup, they had the hookup. They had the hookup with me. But and then that's a revolving door in retail, restaurant management, things like that. But I also knew that I had something, I was just listening about gifts and things that you were born with and entrepreneurship and things like that. And my family is full of entrepreneurs. My auntie was a barber in Elyria, Ohio. My grandfather and grandmother owned liquor stores and chicken restaurants and bars. My uncle had a haberdashery in Greenville, Mississippi, shoe shine shop. I was like, hold on. Yeah. I'm the firstborn. It's something in me.
Yeah.
And my father bought home some clippers, like I think I might have been like 9, 10 or 11. And he bartered. He was in the hair care business. Let me show you how this sets up, though. He was in the hair care business as sales. We're talking about Stay Soft Fro. He worked for M&M Products, which is in Atlanta. Royal Crown hair grease that you probably grew up off of.
Yeah.
Bergamot, blue grease, green grease. Well, all of that put me through Catholic school, me and my sisters and brothers as children. Wow. He was territory sales for that. He bartered and bought home some clippers with one of his sales accounts. And the clippers had been in my hand, and I tried them and was playing. He was like, my sons could play around with these clippers. I was like, and I just started playing with them. I learned how to fix a haircut before I learned how to cut a haircut because I would go to school with patches in my head.
Yeah.
And I took a liking and it just grasped me. But I went away from it because I cut in college in my undergrad. But I'm going to fast forward to your question. I just knew it was something deeper for me. And entrepreneurship, I said, I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it raw. I knew I wanted to be a professional. So I worked in the shop, but I was around people. A man gave me my start. And one of the old school gangbangers in Chicago, I met them because I would always go to a little rehab facility and cut hair. And he was like, man, you cut hair pretty. He like big time gangster, GD disciple, old school, but he had been to prison all his life, no teeth, no nothing. He said, you cut hair pretty. He said, you want to cut hair in the shop? And I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to send you somebody. You just tell him my name. He sent me to the guy, and I went to the guy, and I was like, well, I can't do afros. I can't do high top fades. My fading is off. He said, do you want to cut hair? Can you cut hair? He said, do you want to be a barber? And I said, yes, I want to be a barber. And from there on, and the name of him, his name was Latiz. And Latiz was famous for the finger waves with the Playboy bunnies in the head and the
Okay.
French roll.
Yeah.
I'm sure as a stylist, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So that was the big thing here in Chicago. That was like, so I learned under Lati. And Lati was, and I just began to be faithful. And I would go. I was the only barber in a hairstylist salon, and I had no clients. And all I would do was cut all the ladies. They watched me. They was like, he's so chill. He's just laying back. I'm gonna bring my son. And I started off with tons and tons and tons of kids and tons of babies. And I had no professional training. So in those few months, I think I signed up for barber school. That started for me in October. I think I started barber school in January, October to December, January of 99. 99. I went to school part-time, 16 months. And I was done by '01, spring of '01. And then Chicago got me going. And I just was always wanted to be a step. I wanted to just like go in areas where I wanted to be. But I knew I had to put a little work in. But it seemed like as soon as I embraced the Clippers, about like I told you, I was 32. I wasn't like these 22-year-olds that are barbers now. And the ones that are coming along. I was 10 years, I had a son already, and it was going for me. It was going. So guess what? Why this career, it seemed like the career embraced me as I embraced it. It looked like I feel that it had been waiting for me.
Wow.
I was like, everything that would have taken a barber 10 years took me 5 years. Everything just happened.
And it probably was because you started in your 30s, right? You got in your 30s. That's probably why it kind of took off like that. Because usually when you start a little bit later, that's when it's like like a rocket, and it just starts to take off.
It took off, and I was cutting my pastor, which was a high-profile pastor at that time in Chicago, Apostle H.J. Wilson, and I said he was my first celebrity because he was just so spoiled. And you may know if you did go to church or anything like that, our church is the praise team called Shekinah Glory, which is praise is what I do.
Yes, so I know about him. Yes, yes.
That's my church. That's my church. And all of those CD albums, I was cutting all those people on there. Cutting all of that. And he was flying from Africa to all over the world to the Word Show on TV. So I always say he was my first celebrity because I cut him when he left home, left service, in between service, beginning of service, all of that. I had a lot of training with him. And he took me to Africa with him, and he took me to some other places with him. But I just knew that once I got it, it just took off. Things were happening for me, except for TV and film.
So how did you get into the TV and film industry? Tell me what happened as far as that.
TV and film for me started in theater.
See, oh my God. Everybody keeps saying, a lot of people say that, and I think that's the best place to start off at.
Well, it was stage plays because I've always known people. Crazy part about it in Chicago, I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And people know me, but they just knew me. I just was like a chameleon. People just knew me.
Yeah.
But when it came to that, I had a friend that was a producer. She worked with, one of her best friends was Robbie Reed. She would always talk about Robbie Reed, but she was always producing stage plays, and she would have maybe one celebrity. She went that route where she would have one celebrity. And then I met another dude that was doing, and so whoever had celebrities, I would go and barter so I could get the celebrity, cut their hair, do the whole hair, makeup, do it all by myself. It didn't matter to me. Wow. And get those people on my resume. Ronrico Lee was one of my very, very first celebrities, and he's my friend. I did his wedding, and Ronrico and this woman are brother and sister tight like that. And he shot a lot of stuff in Atlanta too, and from LA. I'm not sure if you know Ronrico, but that's one of my boys. And I just had to work. And my thing was, I honestly, without favor and friends like that, you have those, and you have a few, and you have those that are going to be there, and you're going to have timely people and timing. But
timing,
I had to work. Like when people ask me, "Well, JayBee, how did you do it?" And I got the revelation a long time ago. As quick as I built barber, my barber, my barber career up that first year, by the end of that first year, starting bootleg in that salon, I think I was up to $500 a week cash at that time.
Okay.
Starting in the salon, had never cut nowhere, but I had been cutting in high school and grammar school, high school and college. But the TV was, I tell people, one project at a time. One open door, one closed door, one no, one yes. I would sit home all day after I would get my opportunity to do something, and you would be thinking it's going to be a burst of energy going to take, and you're just going to be this rock star, and you're going to have your work is going to be everywhere, and your work is not going to be everywhere. You're going to sit back on the couch after you may have a great weekend doing 3 days at a stage play with Tank, Johnny Gill, and whoever, which I did do. And that's how and worked with them later in life and seen them again. And '06 with Robert Townsend, did my first feature film with Robert Townsend, Angela Bassett, Faison Love, Little Bobby V, all those guys. You might have seen Bobby V on Tyler Perry stuff. And I held the whole thing down by myself.
Yeah.
And they liked me, and I was professional. And I'm known for, I've matured. And I see why God did it, because I was through running the streets. I was through kicking it. I could kick it every day if I want to, but I'm looking like I don't want to do that no more.
Yeah.
I'm still have so much work to do. And that's when it started for me in '06, because we had one barber in Chicago, and he did barbershop, Marcus Davis.
All right.
But Marcus used to cut my hair, my little brother's hair. I always tell him he the big brother, but I'm the big brother, like age-wise. And he did that. And I saw that and I said, I think I want to do TV and things like that. And he would cut my hair. And I would still stop. Matter of fact, the shop was down the street from his. So I would go in his shop to watch them cut.
Wow.
So that I could take it back in the salon with me. But anyway, with TV and film, it's one haircut at a time.
Yes.
I hate to tell, one haircut at a time. It was no rock star. I don't even think some of the guys, truthfully, I don't even think the young guys even have it in them. I don't want to say they don't and that they can't, but I don't even know. They always ask me what was my role. I don't think they got it in them for that role or the support for that role. Like the no, the yes, call you to a place and production or the talent don't show up and you got to fight to get your check because they didn't show up and things like that.
Yeah.
But in '06, I had my first feature film. I had R. Kelly and I had Judge Mathis.
Oh, that's excellent.
And I was flying from the East Coast, West Coast, Chicago, and man, I was still cutting my pastor. Me and him bumped heads that year or after that year because he was spoiled. They had spoiled him rotten. Oh, yeah. He was just so used to me being accessible.
Accessible, yeah.
And when I was working it out in between, and one day I called him, used to tell him, well, Pastor Apostle, meet at the shop. So speaking of the shop, I haven't worked in the shop in 12 years. I went feet first. I went full-fledged industry only. And '06, I was like, man, this is a whirlwind of stuff.
How was that? How was working with Chicago Bears?
That was a lifelong, I'm probably questions like that because I had been a Bears fan from Walter Payton and things like that. And to walk into Hallis Hall every week that was a childhood. And I always say, God give you what you need. He'll give you the desires of your heart. I saw that they were regular people, they were professionals, they were young athletes with money, and they were real people.
Yeah.
And they were just wealthy people. It was just like a dream come true to sit in the rain 4 quarters at the Super Bowl and watch Prince and be there on behalf of the team.
Yeah.
It's like, because Prince performed at the halftime that year in Miami, against the Colts. So that was big. And I did another 2 seasons with them. And then I just started sliding and moving along. So modeling, I did lots of pro bono modeling, lots of pro bono theater, things like that to grasp clients. It was just like I just had a strategic plan and I was trying to get it where I could get it. And I would sit on my couch and pray and be like, all I do is want to work. I just want to work. I just want to work. Now we turn down jobs, as you know.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah.
be like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
My son's an undergraduate. He just pledged fraternity. I need to go check on him.
Yeah.
Or, things like that.
Yeah.
But it was a dream come true. The film was a dream come true.
Yes, that sounds like just a huge blessing in your life to be able to go into those beautiful, huge doors that you've went into. And so tell me a little bit about like now what you're doing now in the industry and how you are paying it forward to, other people and things of that nature.
What's going well in the industry, as far as paying it forward, I like to choose. I don't like to be chose. Because everything visible, at this point in my career, everyone chooses you and says, oh, you're my mentor, or you this. I've always found it more bountiful when I choose the person, when I watch a person and see that a person has certain qualities that I look at, or respectful, humble, grateful, thankful, not prideful, not haughty, even though we have to work with prideful behind the scenes within ourselves. But I like to choose because that's when I think it's the most organic. That's what I think I think it's the most organic there. I like to choose. And I don't like to put the title mentor on there because my thing is everything that comes along with me is going to come along with it. It oozes out of me. If we tight and we're friends and we got it like there's nothing I'm going to withhold from you. I'm going to share it with you and it's going to ooze out of me. And I've always told people that if you come around me, I've looked over my life. I never talk. Anytime I talk, I'm talking about something. I'm not just talking. So I think people can glean like that as well. I put a tip up on one of my pictures, a small tip, and it said, make sure they know your name.
Yes.
Make sure they know your name.
That's it.
Make sure they know your name.
Yeah.
And it's a good name.
That's it.
So today, I think April, I think I just made 13 years in the union.
That's awesome.
I was the second barber ever in the state of Illinois in the union.
That's awesome.
Like I say, and people always talk about Marcus, but I don't hold up. I mentioned him because he was the first. I mentioned him because Barbershop One catapulted was a jump start to the barbers all over the world forever.
Yeah.
That movie.
Yeah.
That movie.
That was
and he did that. He got a consultant credit. He got the barber credit. He probably got a producer credit because he taught Eve, Ice Cube, his longtime clients, Jalen Rose, all them people. He taught all them how to hold the clippers for the movie.
Wow, that's amazing.
And he had a little piece of cameo in it. And I know this is about me, but I don't care what people, and that's why I tell them I'm the older brother. And that's why we stay straight. If any job, any show he has, any of those women, those Black women at department head, they call me. If he's off, if he out of town, if he this, and I always hit to show those people, it's not a problem. And you know how it is. I had to make them be known. I don't have no problem. I've been knowing them over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem. My father's a man's man. They taught me how to be a man's man. And
Mm-hmm.
I know who I am. I know what great qualities I have. You know, whether he wanted to help me get there or not, I was going already.
Yeah.
He was cutting my hair and I was flying out with Judge Mathis. He was cutting my hair and I was flying out with R. Kelly. However, he didn't know because I felt that he wasn't ready for that because he didn't open that door. He didn't open that door for me to drop that on him.
Yeah.
But I stayed true to how we were as men and as friends.
Mm-hmm.
Before he knew it, I was walking through the door on my first feature, union-wise, was Transformer 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he and I were working together.
Where did y'all shoot Transformers 3 at?
Here in Chicago.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mm-hmm. Lake Wacker Drive, when you see the buildings crumble, you can walk all right there and you see Ocean, Prime Ocean, that was covered. I think that failed. That building fell in the movie. Okay. And helicopters at night. It was so hot. It was so hot. But I did all the buzz cuts. And I did Playboy. I don't know if you remember Playboy with Notori Knott and was in there and Jennifer Lewis. I did that over 100 and something haircuts. That was my introduction doing BG. In the union. But I was so happy. I didn't care how I was there.
Like I love doing,
I don't care.
I'm a head of hair and I still like going back to BG and just, doing my little play days. Like that's wonderful for me. It's not really about the titles, in this industry. Like for me, at least, it's not about the titles to me.
You're right.
Doing what you love and making money doing it,
Yeah. Making good money doing it. I hate our strike right now.
I know.
But you sick. You looking like, hold on, we supposed to be cracking right now.
I know, but you know what though? I think everything happens for a reason, and I think we need this break for a reason. We probably don't know, but I'm just enjoying it while it lasts because you already know once it kicks back in, it's gonna kick back in like a freaking freight train.
Yeah, they're gonna drop all them scripts finally.
Yeah, and we're gonna be working like crazy. And so you already know how that's going to be. So I'm just trying to enjoy this time, this quiet time while I can. But yes. And
I like it too.
Yeah, good. Yeah, enjoy this time. Is there
I'm sorry. I don't when I'm off, I'm chilling. I don't worry. My name gets called to the stuff that's for me.
Yes, you better say that. Yes.
To the stuff that's for me.
To the stuff that's for you.
That's for me.
Yes.
To the stuff that's for me.
That's it.
And I found out, and you know what else I found out? I found out that more people talk about you than you think.
You better say that. Your name is on people's tongues and on people's lips, and it's in a good way. And people are the prosperity, I feel like the prosperity that is on us is given to us by other people and by the people that we meet in the marketplace. And I'm thankful for that. I'm just so thankful for that.
I'm thankful. I really am.
Yeah. Is there any advice you want to give to those who are coming up in the industry right now and going into the union?
Yeah, I tell them to take self out of it. I tell barbers, it's not haircut, it's straight. So don't go in there thinking you about to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go in, you're gonna 8 times out of 10, your department head is a woman, brown skin or Caucasian skin. Respect them all and respect them the same. Let them do the talking. Close your mouth. Don't do so much talking. Understand. And a lot of times they want you to listen. Listen to what they tell you. Get understanding at first. Be a self-starter for 2.
Yeah.
She ain't got time. Her mind might be all over the place. Her daughters, her kids, if she got kids, if she got other businesses, she might got makeup line, if she got if she got a crazy director, if she got that. She got to read her script, do that, do schedule for us, schedule for her background people, schedule for her barber. She wanted her barber every day, but they won't let her pay her barber every day. All type of crap like that. Listen, and even on the mentoring side, I hope I did answer that I said I like to choose my people, the guys. I like to see them. I get alerted because people saw something special in me and chose me.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can choose people and they just want my jobs. I want to be on there, and I hope people are listening, that the barbers don't mess with me. The barbers just want my job. And if it's not organic and if it ain't authentic, I'm on.
Yeah.
And if you don't approach me the right way, I met Jay and he reminded me. I didn't remember meeting Jay. He came back, but I was watching him. And I think he sent a client to me through another guy in New Jersey, or the guy in New Jersey sent me to, was it Akon? I can't remember. But Jay told me he met me at Bronner Brothers. I didn't remember to save my life. But he told me that I inspired him and I spoke to him nicely that day. And he told me to see how he's doing it. And I said, man, do that thing. It's not about the numbers.
Right.
It's about quality.
Yes.
Plant your seeds, water it. Somebody else may water it, and let that harvest come. And give God the glory, and you just keep going.
Yes.
Because I know plenty of people have done things for me that I'm grateful for. But tell them just be professional first.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Don't take it, and don't be puffing your chest out around these ladies. The ladies that I work with, they love me because I'm quiet, but I'm always watching. Yeah. I got a presence about myself. Mm-hmm. One of my department head told me, she was like, I didn't think you was watching. I was like, yeah. I didn't like how she was just clapping back, barking back at you all the time. I said, I ain't like that. I ain't like that. Mm-hmm. So I said, and she was a young hairstylist, and I just wanted her to be cool. I had worked with her. But in Chicago, we just went in and did the show with her last summer. Mm-hmm. And she had to jump back to Chicago Med. I've done all three: Chicago Med, Fire, PD. I did Fire last season. I did PD this season. I'm always on the shy behind Marcus. Marcus is the number one. I'm the second. They just called me before the strike. I'm grateful to God that I finished all of the shows that I was on wrapped. So I just got The Bear, which is Disney. Second season, that's mine. I did that both seasons. And PD, I filled in on PD with Lil Royce and those people. And what else I do this year? Justified last summer. That's on FX. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. That's Primal Evil. That's a spinoff. Yeah. So I did everything pretty much in Chicago. A lot of the stuff. But I'm just grateful and didn't think that, you never know where you're going to be. You never know.
Do you have, before we wrap up this episode, do you have any final words to tell the your audience and to tell the people that are watching?
Well, first of all, I hope I wasn't all over the place, but I wanted to have some power with it, some authenticity with it, definitely, and some humility, because if I can look back over my career, I've been 17 years. That's 17 years TV and film that I've stumbled up on. I don't know where the time has gone. Mm-hmm. I was a new barber. I might have been 4 or 5 years as a licensed barber at that time. I think I'm 22 years licensed. Mm-hmm. If I could just the question again was what now? Just some final remarks.
Have your final words. What are your final words before we wrap up?
Just be faithful. If you know, you got to know, you have to honestly know that this is for you. You got to know it. You got to know who you are. You got to know. My stuff just happened at the right time. Marcus was the only guy in Chicago doing this. Mm-hmm. The only one. And what really made me go is I told him, and I don't want to jump back. I said, well, how do I do what I need to do? A resume, do that? He told me, and I didn't take offense to it. You know, one side of you can. He's like, he said, they ain't gonna, he said it don't matter because they're gonna call me anyway. Now you, on the other hand, may see it some other kind of way. I took it as, let me do this resume. Let me do a bio. Let me try a resume online, and I started doing me a resume and start following up with the film office and with the union.
Yes.
Anyway, but I'm grateful. Yes. I'm grateful every day. And let me tell you, I lived to be the same person from day one to up until now. I don't care what I'm doing when they call me. They could call me the day before. Be like, JayBee, you work? I'll be like, no, I'm good. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm known for being available.
Yes.
I don't go through no red tape. When I was in the shop, and I owned 2 shops over 12 years too. So I was an owner and I trained tons of barbers. So all of that. But just to be who you are. Yeah. If they trust you, don't break their trust. Don't break her trust. Yeah. Be faithful, be focused, be about their business, and you'll grow. Yeah. You'll grow.
Thank you so much.
And don't have thin skin.
Oh yeah, that is a very most definitely, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So
people all over know, but I started off going outside of Chicago before I got into my union. I knew people in New York, Atlanta, LA. I went out and built up all this work. I was always there. You in Atlanta or DC?
I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. I was always there for BET Hip Hop Awards. Always there at the Fox Theater when it was there. Soul Train Awards when it was at the Fox. I was always in Atlanta for a lot of stuff. But I went out to come back in my home to get respected. Oh. I don't know why I chose that route, but I wanted to meet
yeah.
I learned the players. People don't know. Learn the players first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Learn the players that's on the field.
That's right. That's right.
And that's what I tell hairstylists today. If a hairstylist is listening right now today, she a hot shot, stellar shades, all this. He needs to learn who you are.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He needs to learn who you are. She needs to know about your career. The barbers need to know who JayBee is. First time they come in my DM and be like, can you give me a few words of encouragement? Can you give me a few words? I might ask them, what you know about me?
Yeah.
What you research, what you know about me?
Yeah.
So I can see if it's authentic connection.
Yeah.
Do it kind of make sense a little bit?
No, it does. I mean, I've been in all those encounters that you're talking about, especially people that I call them opportunists. So I've definitely encountered a lot of opportunists. I have more opportunists than anybody. So
we always will. And guess what? I'll drop my private. I'll tell them I'll do private mentorship, and I'll send them a thing with a syllabus on there, DM or whatever, and tell them it's this much for hourly, minimum 2 hours for us to talk about TV, film, the celebrity. Or I can still take you, because I was a marketing degree in college, and I can still take you from behind the chair.
Yeah.
As a professional. You don't have to be behind the chair.
Right.
You can try brand ambassadorship, free tip, brand ambassadorship. Mm-hmm. Reach out for and you got to go. Internships.
Yeah.
See what's going on. Minority internships. Free tip, whoever's listening. And there we go.
Yeah.
Now you from behind the chair already.
Yeah. Where can we find you? Where can we find you on social media and all your social media outlets? Like quick.
Everything is at JayBee Bivins, JayBee Bee. My last name is Bivins, Bivins, and that's where it is. I'm getting a new website. Sorry about that. New website coming on. And I can't believe I've been kind of like tearing up all week. I can't believe I just slipped up on 17 years in this doggone industry.
Yes, 17 years. You are a true testament of what God has for you is for you, JayBee Bivins. Thank you so much for joining me on this show. I'm so grateful for you to come on and tell us about your life story. Please come back and talk to us again.
I will.
Love you here in Atlanta, and God bless you until next time.
All right, thank you. And I am licensed in Georgia too. So
well,
I'm a master.
Come on down here.
I got Georgia license.
Come on down here and see us.
See the barbers? I was going for it. I got Master Barbers Georgia now for years now.
Yes.
So I'm available.
All right, let's do this. I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.